Yo, 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 back at it. It's another one. And Ski's opinion. With your gracious, humble host, Ski. We are here on the show about everything and nothing at all. So, today, we're going to jump right into it. Got no time to be explaining nothing to nothing. Follow, subscribe, like, hit that bell for notification. Get these next interviews. Get alerted to these next interviews. All right. So, first thing I want to say is, okay, everybody know I spoke on it a couple of days ago. Max B coming home. So, um, bring up Max B, you have to bring up Jim Jones. So, Jim Jones and Mano was doing an interview, I guess, together, working together on Art to Art, his podcast, you know, um, that he shoot at his warehouse he got out in New York, which I think is super dope. Jimmy doing his thing, independent. And got a space for the artists to get out there and do their thing, far as podcasting, shooting videos, everything. But anyway, he was asked, can he let go of the beef with Max B? And Jimmy he came straight out with it. And he said, Adam, he is not jacking it. He's not feeling it, which I understand. Uh, if anybody know about their history, then you know about what happened with him and Max. All the things that were said and was done between the two over the time and the terms of their beef. Max said a lot of things. Max done a lot of things to Jimmy that probably wouldn't be forgiven um, from the average person, right? I would say probably most people wouldn't forgive him. But you don't have to hold on to a grudge or even have a beef. What I'm saying is, will this spark a new beef, right? Because I can see this actually sparking something, actually making it um, into something bigger than what it is, or they can rehash, a whole situation. And we know about that situation. Like I said, as for us who was watching it, when King Wave was out here back in the day, what they was going through and how they was having their back and forth. Max is a very witty guy, and funny with the way that he says things and how he put it together, right? So with this, I said it. I said, you guys, the internet is about to get very interesting again. Now the way God is hump. His antics, if he is into it with somebody, it's finna be hilarious. Get your popcorn ready. Man, man. But that's it. It's gonna be entertaining. So what we do know is that Mac's gonna be with it. He's gonna put some words together, be pretty slick. He may say something so triggering that Jim Jones might cry. But we all know. We all know Jimmy is a crap baby. Yeah, that's what he do. He wear his emotions on his sleeve, as he said. This and that. And like a few years back, then almost every other interview he was doing, he was crying. So um, we can, expect to see some more tears because he's so emotional and passionate about what he feels. You know what I'm saying? That's my Jim Jones voice. but anyway, let me stop. Um, you guys are older, I would say. A piece of advice I would give to Max B is ignore it, right? Don't even respond to what he said, about not forgiving you or not wanting to do it. He done a song with French. I just don't understand. I mean, I get what he said, but you shouldn't mess with none of them because French was recording everything. So if you're mad at Max, I mean, the same videos that Max was saying foul ish about you, French was the videographer. Like he was one who was filming. He put it out. for the world to see, and then kept promoting it. Y'all had y'all little thing. But my whole point is like, why take that step and then take 3 steps back, right? And I just think people doing something anything right now just for clout and clicks, right? Just to get their name in the algorithm. So Jimmy gonna do whatever he needs to. Listen, he know he wasn't better than Nas, y'all. I think everybody knew that. He knew that, right? But it's gonna put his name in the algorithm. Is it gonna get him the clicks? Is it gonna get people talking about him? He bring out some music at that time. He's promote. So yeah, he might get a couple of more albums. So from doing this or saying that, right? It's clickbait. He shocked about it. And I think this is kind of the same. Even though I think that situation was kind of deep, But when he asked him, he gonna say, Thug and Lucci was able to, put their differences aside and move on as grown men and do their thing. Well, yeah, I don't know how serious it was. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Jimmy. Like, stop it, man. You knew how serious that was. And they was able to do it. Like, what are you talking? Nobody even died. Your car got smashed up or whatever. Y'all had swung on each other a few times or whatever, a scuffle. But ain't nobody died behind it. It was just a bunch of, jaw jabbing and going back and forth. You can't make this be super serious. And what's next? I think somebody died. Like bodies got left behind that situation. And they able to do that. You look dumb at 50, almost 50, and talking about what you can't get over. Grown man, like be grown, man. These dudes are crazy. Oh man, I don't understand it. Like you still want to hold on to this image of something that's dead. These kids don't care about that. They don't care nothing about that. They worry about what cancer not doing. What's the next new TikTok dance? And they don't care nothing about that street ish that you talking about, man. But like I said, man, we'll see. Let's stay tuned, for it. Cause it's coming. Straight at you. Whatever, man. So my next thing I want to step into, I want to touch on is the goofy of the goofies, Mr. Black TV. And now y'all heard Black is suing Joyner Lucas for copyright infringement. I don't even know what it's for. This how much it doesn't mean anything about whatever Joyner put up there that you flagging him on. And then for these text messages to be exposed, what you basically trying to extort this man out of the interview, and how stalkerish you looked at starving and could not accept no when the man kept curving you on even doing the interview with you. But you actually tried to use suing him to extort him to do an interview with you. That I don't understand where the game going, bro. This is disappointing, man. First the frat boys break up, now this. but no, I'm just saying this is ridiculous, man. Like, but this is who that dude is, man. Also, we can't act like be too shocked about him doing something like this or hearing about him doing something like this because we've never uh, seen or heard about this happening before. Not him trying to extort somebody for interview. So I was gonna say this is something that we heard before. So um, I'm gonna say. Hold on. Shut up. But what I was saying, back to what I was saying. It, what I was saying was like, what was I talking about? Oh, Vlad. Yeah, that's who he is. So we can't be too surprised about that, you guys. I was saying that like that's who the dude is, but the reading those for them reading those text messages back and forth, the lameness of this guy. He delaying Miss Other lameness. Yeah, trying to get up with you to do that interview that you've been asking him to do for 4 or 5 years. Dude, that he's not gonna do it. Get the hint. Dizzy. Dizzy ass dude. If you ask me. So he really pulled it with this one, you guys. You know, like so he's really showing what type of sucker he is. He's a super sucker for doing this. Um, they're going back and forth now. He got an interview where I don't know if Wack is interviewing him, but I got Wack coming back on you guys to ask my response to trying to look like what? Dude, come on, man. Do better get it down. But you are super lame. I just had to mention it because it was super lame to me and it was funny, and I wanted to poke. You know, I wanted to poke the guy a little bit today. You know, but yeah, he did do super lame, man. Vlad TV. Okay, we'll move on because I ain't gonna give that too much time on my platform. So, um, to the main event, the main course, I'm gonna say, right? And that is Charlemagne and Roland Martin. Oh my God. Roland Martin, Mr. Roland, aka Sassy Martin. Roland Sassy Martin. Let me stop. But anyway, Roland Martin and Charlemagne has been going back and forth, you guys. I know everybody's saying the show. We know Charlemagne saw it. You know, Roland Martin last week, I think it was, he called out Charlemagne on giving out misinformation, he said, as far as he telling the Democrats to give up and, you know, get the people back working or whatever. He didn't like it, so he did a whole show, you know, went on a whole 40-something minute rant while he tried to, he did, when I get into this content, he tried to throw Charlemagne, he did just 20-minute rant on me on the purpose, because you did a 40-minute rant on him first. But anyway, Roland Martin, you know, went on this whole tangent about Charlemagne giving out, you know, misinformation. He had other people on the show, you know, who gave their opinion on it. You know, one female who admittedly said she has a problem with Charlemagne. So this is a biased person that you have on the show to talk about this man who is not there to defend himself. So my point is this: I wanted to say, um, we have to, as brothers, right? Because we all in a space, right? And it's a large space, but it's also a small space for us, right? To try to try to claw our way into. And for you guys to have the you know well established platform that you guys have, it should be a better way to um, communicate with each other about disagreements on things that we have said, right? So this is being said not to say that I feel that Charlemagne is at any fault for being attacked and responded on being attacked. His response was hilarious and it sounded very factual, you know, with the checks that the checks and balances he was putting out there, right? So Charlemagne come back with a response. On the Breakfast Club, he give him Donkey of the Day. He do his segment. It lasted 20 minutes, you guys. It's very hilarious, you know, and informative as well, I would say, because it showed me, even at times, not for like, well, oh, Charlemagne may be saying a little bit much, or feel like he know a little bit too much about what political things is going on, but then for him to break down how he's actually talking to these politicians, right? The people who are in the game, you know. and asking them questions and speaking back and forth with them about what they think about what's going on with the situation as far as the government shutdown. For him to have that inside information and them to give him, he's basing his information and then research he's doing himself, man. We have to give people the credit when credit is due, right? We know he's a radio personality. But if this radio personality, and they always been political to a certain extent, Howard Stern, Don Imus, you can name them all. These personalities who've been bigger than life, right? And Charlemagne, like I said, has entered his way into their craft, um, especially with the political talk right now. But for him to put together the things that he has put together as far as uh, his factual research that he has done, I think that the brother should have probably called Charlemagne. As Charlemagne said, he's texted plenty of times to come on the Breakfast Club, or whatever. And and the things, like, so you reached out to do that, but you couldn't reach out to say that you disagree with something that I was saying, and we could have had a discussion about it, and probably came to an understanding on why Charlemagne was saying what he was saying, right? So that's what I said when I said earlier, like we as brothers and especially you guys. I mean, I think Roland Martin, you got a very reputable show. I think the information that you spew is some good information. Sometimes could it be biased? Yeah, I think you lean a little bit more left than you do right, or swinging even in the middle. You're not even there, But I respect your candor and your honesty about how you feel about your ideas and your opinion about what you feel. So, because you're entitled to that. But I'm entitled to say what I just said as well. And I think that the brother coming back responding to you was a reaction to you could have called me. You could have said this to me behind the scenes over the phone, and we could have corrected this instead of you going to your show and putting up a whole show. 40 minutes, like I said, that you tried to say something when you came back as Charlemagne and basically proving his point as far as you using this for clickbait to get views and likes or whatever to run your name up through the algorithms. You're using this. He jumped right back out the window. But I never saw, well, I ain't gonna say never saw, but I would have to commend this man on how he perfectly executed a response back to this brother with facts, you know, with receipts, as they say, but and with some humor. Because it was pretty funny the stuff that he was saying. So he said that Roland Martin is the brother who's first in line for the all you can eat bussy buffet. Oh my god. Hell fool. That's what I said when I started this. My man, Roland Sesame Martin, right? It's fancy that dude is sad, but I mean, I have no problem with that man. He's so open and out there with it. You can't knock it. I've never heard him say that he's LGBT or whatever. But if yeah, that doesn't matter. That doesn't expound from uh, the information and the things that this brother is doing, or his accomplishments, what I'm saying, and credentials. He have that, so you can't do that. But for him to throw that out there like that, I've always thought that myself, like this dude, because he says so like with the boo, it gives off you know LGBTQ or it give off that vibe. So I mean, like I said, here no there. I don't care. People are, free to live how they want to live. That's on them. But For him to throw that out there, that was pretty hilarious. And then, for him to Charlemagne to basically call, I said, like, well, how um, they're not gonna be talking to each other probably anymore. He won't be coming on the record. He won't be invited to do anything for Roland Martin. But he just showed how the man kind of has some type of hate for him. So my man Roland come back. I don't think he gave it a couple of hours after the show. He ran to the studio. Cheer me up, Antoine. Cheer me up. You don't me saying that. Not today, boo. Okay. So he come in, boom, going, boom, boom, boom. He responded to things that Charlemagne mentioned, and you could tell that it bothered him and hurt him. You know, it affected him. You know, he was bad about it. So he responded to it, but then he started going on whole tangents. He had no receipts this time, yeah. Well, Mike usually have receipts. He did not have any receipts. He couldn't produce anything. So he just went on long tangents about things that don't have nothing to do with what you said, but just talking about how you proved it and read off some text messages of him with Charlemagne that supposedly, but we can't see. Like everybody showed they text messages. This dude did show that he just read them off what he's saying to Charlemagne. Like, we don't know if you ever said man, right? Or if that's something that you wrote out on your way into the studio to come back with this response because he was rapid fast with it, man. That dude jumped on it. He did not care. He wasn't playing. Not today, boo. But anyway, I'm gonna say this about the whole situation. Like it's hilarious with the things that they saying, and I'm cracking jokes and I'm laughing or whatever. But it is, I would like to, just come with something a little bit more serious though. As far as just like I said, these are two black brothers who have powerful voices that have audiences that they reach in mass millions of us, and as people that's actually looking to both of them, to get their information to make their next moves. Um, we have to, you guys. We have to figure out a way to deal with each other. We have to figure out a way. If it is jealousy or whatever that's playing a part within it, we have to figure out a way to let everybody do what they do in their own lane and congratulate each other, man, because we up against losing battle when it comes to um, black ownership. You know what I'm saying? And your word meaning something within this media realm. And with the podcast and YouTube shows and all those other things that's going on, technology with AI and all that, we have so many more opportunities. There's a lot of us out here now creating content on our own independently, and pushing it out to the masses. So we have to be very careful on how we use these platforms. We have to be very careful on what we're saying out of our mouth to the people as well as what we're saying out of our mouths to each other, right? We have to speak better about and to each other. So I'm just saying I have no, um, foot in the race or anything as far as who's right and who's wrong. I think, like I said, I think both of these brothers have a very high quality information to share with all of us, and continue to keep sharing how y'all sharing. Um, but I hope that this doesn't, continue to give a divide within our groups. Like even with the Native Land podcast and the situation with Joe Button and Angela Rod being able to, go back and look over things and even actually woman enough, to stand up and say that maybe she was wrong about her feelings for things. She shot off the hip, For her to say that, I'm gonna commend and salute that sister, for even having the open mind to even go back to do it. When we see the other sister she didn't even go back to even try to play because she was so stuck on being right within her insinuation of what she feel. And that's fine. Like I said, my show is about my opinion, right, that I have on situations that's going on out here in the world, right? Um, but that doesn't make me the end all the know all. My opinion can be wrong, to anybody else, but it can be right to me, but I can also be made to, maybe alter some of my opinions about certain things once I get a better understanding on why I might be screwed. Because I don't want to be screwed. And none of us should want to be screwed. So that is my show for today. And Ski's opinion is another one. I ask you guys again to like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell for notification on next interview, next episodes, and keep it posted. See you guys. And Ski's opinion. I'm out.